All right, we're live. Welcome to the show. Just hanging out, playing a little AI dungeon, probably. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. I hope my camera's not like frozen. It almost looks like my camera's frozen. Is my camera frozen? Or am I just not moving? Can you see me? Goodness gracious. Let's see how that goes. Alright, well, let me get my other laptop up so I can look at the chat. Alright. Let's do some AI dungeon. You are oh wait, tags, right. Goodness. Let's see. Cheeseburgers, dancing, neon, cotton candy, fireworks, and beam sabers. Beam sabers. How's this gonna go? We'll find out.
It's the year 3588, and the Earth has become a barren wasteland. After hundreds of years of fighting, only two factions remain, the Empire of True Humanity and the Republic of Future Justice. The world has become something of a paradise for humans, but for some reason, everyone is obsessed with 50s American culture. You are a fighter pilot for the True Humanity Empire, and you take your post at Halleck Station, a battle station in the atmosphere above the Earth.
I see. That's interesting. Well, all right then. Okay. Well, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. It's pretty interesting. Let's settle on survival mode, which I never remember to do. How come I can't set it to survival mode?
It's the year
Whatever.
3588, and the Earth has become a barren wasteland. After hundreds of years of fighting, only two factions remain, the Empire of True Humanity and the Republic of Future Justice. The world has become something of a paradise for humans. It's the year 3588, and the Earth has become a barren wasteland. After hundreds of years of It's the year 3588, and the Earth has become a barren wasteland. After hundreds of years of fighting, only two factions remain, the Empire of True Humanity and the Republic of Future Justice. The world has become something of a paradise for humans, but for some reason, everyone is obsessed with. It's the year 3588, and the Earth has become a barren wasteland. After hundreds of years of fighting. It's the year 3588, and the Earth has become a barren wasteland. It's the year 3588.
I got some
and the
quests
Earth
now.
has become a barren
See what that
wasteland.
goes.
After hundreds of years of
I
fighting.
also want to turn on the automatic story saver mode. How do you? Oh, come on. I'm sorry. This is boring. I'm sure for you.
Only two factions remain.
One more
The Empire
quest
of
log.
True
Is it
Humanity
edited
and the
adventure?
Repu-
Yeah, it must be edited adventure. Okay. Enable experimental features. There we go. And now I can't seem to turn on survival mode. Maybe that's a scenario generator thing. We'll see. Anyway, here's the experimental features are on, so
Republic of Future
Cool.
Justice. The world has become something of a paradise for humans, but for some reason, everyone is obsessed with 50s American culture. You are a fighter pilot for the True Humanity Empire, and you take your post at Halleck Station, a battle station in the atmosphere above the Earth.
Alright, relaxing in your bunk between shifts, you blow bubbles with your American bubblegum while you read American superhero comic books. Sometimes you read the newspaper instead. Today, you're enjoying a pre-packaged pudding pie for breakfast when your rotary landline telephone rings. When your retro future rotary landline telephone rings. Rings.
Relaxing in your bunk between shifts, you blow bubbles with your American bubblegum while you read American superhero comic books. Sometimes you read the newspaper instead. Halleck Station, this is Lieutenant Harris. You answer. Lieutenant, we've got
Lieutenant.
unidentified flying objects approaching. Your operator says. They aren't from us. Thanks for the update, you say. I'll alert command. Oh, and operator? I'd like a large pizza with pineapple and pepperoni.
Pizza pie.
You hang up the phone and head to the bridge where your commanding officers are having a discussion.
That makes sense. Alright. A large pizza pie with pineapple and pepperoni. That's... Alright, head to the bridge. Commanders are having a discussion. I feel like we should just continue the story from here. So we'll try that. We'll try that. There we go.
We are in the middle of an important discussion, Lieutenant, Captain Shaw says. What is it? Unidentified flying objects are approaching, sir, you reply. The captain nods his head and says, thanks for the update. Now leave us. But sir, you say, leave us. The captain yells. You shrug your shoulders and leave the bridge.
Alright, so what's in the bridge? What do you call the commissary? Alright, I'm gonna head to the let's go to do mode and head to the commissary to discuss the UFOs with colleagues over lunch. Today is Cheeseburger Wednesday.
You head to the commissary to discuss the UFOs with colleagues over lunch. Today is Cheeseburger Wednesday.
A little verisimilitude there.
Lunch? A voice says. You look around and see a man with blonde hair, white skin and a black jacket. He holds a black briefcase on his left hand and a silver briefcase on his right. Who are you? You ask. The name's Xanthias, the man says. I'm new here. I was sent here to find someone named Lisha. This won't do.
Don't you like cheeseburgers, Xanthias, my man?
You say don't you like cheeseburgers, Xanthias, my man? Of course I do, Lisha says with a frown. But I'm on duty, and I can't be late for it. You nod in acknowledgement and continue walking down the path. Eventually, you all reach a fork in the road. There's two paths, one that leads up to the surface, and another that leads towards an underground cavern, which is hidden behind a waterfall.
Oh, we'd better head for the surface. All right. Hold on. Where was I? All right. There's two paths. One that leads to the surface. Underground cavern, which is behind a waterfall. The UFO invasion.
You say we'd better head for the surface if we want to be ready for the UFO invasion. It's best if we stay here, Captain Brannick says. The military will be able to deal with the threat more effectively. How many people do we have? You ask. Besides us, Captain Brannick, and Lisha, we've got an instructor, 3 trainees, and a cook. Plus me. Not enough to deal with the aliens, Lisha says. Captain Brannick sighs and then nods his head.
How many people do we have, you ask? 3 trainees and a cook. Not enough to deal with the aliens. Captain Brannick sighs, nods his head. Alright. Alright. What should we do?
You say what should we do? The military officer sighs again and then says, we'll send for more soldiers. In the meantime, get yourself a gun and some body armor. Yes, sir, you say. You turn to walk away, but Captain Brannock grabs your shoulder. I'm sorry about this, he says. If it helps, my real name is David. You nod and then head to the armory.
Nice to meet you, David. I'm Dad. So I'd ordered.
Nice to meet you, David.
I'm a little thrown
My
off
dad.
here, guys. I'd ordered a pizza for like 6 o'clock tonight.
It's nice to
I'd
meet
like
you,
pre-ordered it
Dad, David says. You nod and
for
strap
everybody
a
in the
sniper
house to
rifle
eat
to your back.
with
Lisha does
6
the
for
same
dinner.
with an assault rifle,
So I
while
wouldn't have to
David
take care
grabs
of it
a
later.
shotgun. We should head out.
But it
David
arrived
says.
just
You all walk
after I
towards
started the
entrance
stream.
to HQ,
Even though I'd
where
ordered it for
SUV
late.
waits for
That's
you.
what I had to go
David
receive.
drives, while you sit in the passenger seat and
So that
Lisha
kinda
sits
threw me
in the
off.
back.
So I guess the pizza's here. So that's dinner's here. It's fine. I'm not gonna make a fuss. not gonna make a big issue of it. Some sort of innocent mistake was made. That's all right. We have an early dinner. Gotta go with the flow. Anyway, here's some aliens. SUV waits for me. David drives. Waiting patiently. Can we put on some tunes? I need to take my mind off everything. Loud music helps me think, clear my head.
You say, can we put on some tunes? I need to take my mind off everything. Loud music helps me clear. David nods and turns on the radio. Death metal plays, and you nod your head slightly to the beat. This is Lisha, David says, nodding to her in the back seat. Hi Lisha, you say. Lisha nods her head slightly. She seems quiet and serious, just like David.
What are you guys thinking about?
You say, what are you guys thinking about? The future, David answers. Specifically? You ask. Specifically. How can we make the future better for ourselves and everyone else? David answers, dodging the question. That's a very broad question, you say. Yeah. David says. You arrive at the drop-off point, where several refugees wait for you. They all pile into the back of the SUV as you continue driving.
Airbase
Finally,
1.
You arrive at Airbase 1.
What happens here? I don't know. Maybe we take off. Go full Top Gun.
Where you are stopped by 2 armed soldiers. They check David's identification and then allow you to enter. You stop at the foot of the runway, where 2 large transport planes wait for you. You open the door and begin loading the refugees onto the waiting planes. After a few minutes, the planes are full, and you climb aboard one of them with Lisha and David.
Okay. So, I should probably just keep going, I guess. So I guess it's a 3-man crew, huh?
The planes begin to taxi down the runway and then take off, headed for the safety of Fort Destiny. There,
So
you
Airbase
hand
1
the
to Fort
refugees
Destiny.
over to the waiting U.S. Army personnel. After a quick check to see if any of them are actually terrorists
course, gotta
trying to
check
sneak
that.
aboard, you find yourself back in David's SUV. Now
Back
what?
to
You
headquarters,
ask.
David says.
Back to HQ? Yeah, David says. We need to decide what our next move is.
All right. Okay. Well, let's just keep this going. I don't want to intervene yet.
Our next move? You ask. Isn't it your decision? Yeah, but I'm asking you guys, David says. I need all the brain power I can get. Your experience on the front lines helps. You ponder for a moment. Should you stay with Lisha and try to find out more about her plans, or learn what you can from David and his band of survivors?
What? This is not making any sense. I don't know about this one. Let's start over. Let's go back. Let's go
Our
back.
next move? You ask. Isn't it your decision? Yeah, but I'm asking you guys.
Go home. Entered the AI dungeon to claim my rewards on the camera. Look at that. Alright, new game. Let's go with the featured scenarios. Fully fledged AI. Alright, we'll go with the fully fledged AI RPG. Choose your gender, race, class, join up other adventurers. Partake in epic adventures featuring lots of world info, customization, recruitable party members, as well as quests to get you off a good start. Alright. We'll give it a go. The end prompt will make age in your first quest. Alright, we'll give it a go. My name is Booth. Male. I'm a male elf. No, I'm a male human because I'm a sir. And I am a knight. My class weapon is the lance. Am I wearing full plate mail? Plate mail? Plate mail. My special trinket is a mystical pipe. Farula. Let's change the background music. It's getting a little. I don't know. Maybe that's not any better.
Us graders who strike and then retreat back to the swamps with their spoils. We need help driving them away so our farmers may
Ooh.
carry on with their work in peace.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Alright, so you are Sir Bruce, the male human knight. You fight with a lance. You're wearing full plate mail. In your possession, you have a mystical pipe. Eager to leave your dull life behind you, you purchase a map of a distant land known as Farula from a traveling merchant and hire a ferry to sail out there. The ferry docks and you are let loose in a large coastal town of Ceylon, ready to set out in this new land. During the ferry ride, you learn of the vast opportunity this town has for eager adventurers such as yourself. Unfortunately, you may have arrived too late as you see a myriad of armor-clad individuals traveling out and around the city with purpose. You're afraid you will not get much choice in what quests you can partake. You arrive in the town square at around midday and glance at the bounty board. It is almost completely barren and only one quest letter remains posted up. You hope it is something worthy of your time. You pull down the letter, which bears the seal of Ceylon Town Council. It starts with printed forward. Dear adventurer, our humble hamlet of Ceylon has been Besieged by a myriad of problems as of late, this bounty letter offers up 1,200 gold for any adventurers who aid our town in solving the following problem. Below that, scrawled in rough handwriting, contains the following adventurers. Please help. Our farms on the outskirts of Ceylon are beset upon by Ursk raiders who strike and then retreat back to the swamps with their spoils. We need help driving them away so our farmers can carry out their work in peace. So we gotta drive the raiders away. Okay. All right, let's ride off to Raider encampment.
You ride off to Raider encampment.
The Raiders. With the I'll meet with the mayor?
You choose to leave the walls of Ceylon behind and ride out towards the swamp to meet with the mayor. You carry no fancy forged weapons on your person, just a short sword and a bow for hunting. As you grow closer to the camp, you begin seeing evidence of the raiders, their campsites, empty mineral water bottles and an occasional chewed-up leather boot lying in the tall grass.
I'm here to see the mayor.
You say I'm here to see the mayor. You enter the camp and approach what looks to be the largest tent, where you are stopped by several brutish-looking men. The mayor is busy, one of them says. The mayor is speaking with some important people at the moment, says another. You narrow your eyes at the two men barring your way, and with a sudden motion, you draw your sword and knock both of them out with its hilt.
I don't know if I want to jump right to violence. Okay. Finding a seat on the ground. I will wait.
The men look at one another and then back to you with confusion. One of the men, who appears to be the oldest, walks forward and speaks. We have been expecting you, sir? Sir Booth? You say. The man blushes and smiles. Apologies. We just weren't expecting a knight to arrive for this meeting. Please follow me. You say very well. I shall. You follow the man into the tent and are struck by the difference in air quality immediately. Gone is the stale, damp, smoky air and in its place is clean, dry air that smells vaguely of lavender. You look around and see a lavish layout of rugs, cushions and pillows covering the floor with a low table set with fruit, juices, meats, cheeses and pastries. There are even silken curtains hanging from the ceiling to divide the room.
Not a bad layout you have here, fellas. Not bad at all.
You say not a bad layout you have here. The man smiles and holds up a finger, indicating for you to wait. He disappears behind one of the silken curtains and, after a moment, returns with an older man wearing dark red silk pantaloons and an open-fronted robe of gold and red over an ivory tunic. A medallion hangs around his neck and his feet are slipped into golden slippers. The older man smiles and holds out his hands in greeting.
Shake the man's hand.
You shake the man's
Shake
hand.
the man's hand. What shall become of the man whose hand I shake?
You step forward and accept the mayor's hand in a firm handshake.
Sir Booth.
Sir Booth, I presume? He says, smiling. At your service, you reply with a short bow. The mayor laughs and gestures for you to take a seat at the table. After all these years of adventure, you have developed an eye for expensive furniture and intricate carvings. The table you are sitting at is no exception.
Hell of a table you have here.
You say hell of a table you have here. The mayor laughs. Thank you, but I had nothing to do with the acquisition of it. That was my wife's doing. The mayor smiles and asks one of his servants to bring him some wine. A man after my own heart, he says to you. Now, Sir Booth, please tell me a little about yourself and why you are here. You tell the mayor that you are a warrior of no consequence in the Kingdom of Dawn.
That's true. Hmm. But today I am here to represent the farmers on the outskirts of Ceylon. They have asked me to come to you today and beg that you stop raiding their farmlands. They simply cannot sustain themselves under your men's relentless assault.
You say that's true, but today I am here to represent the farmers on the outskirts of Ceylon. They have asked me to come to you, today, and beg. The mayor
Oh,
frowns
no.
and shakes his head. I'm sorry, Sir Booth, but I can't stop my men from doing what they do best. I created an army and now I can't control it. They do what they want, when they want and to who they want. The mayor leans forward and rests his elbows on the table.
There we go.
You say the farmers are dying. They are starving and freezing to death because your men are robbing them blind. Soon, the mayor frowns at you and sighs. That's an ugly story indeed, Sir Boo. But I'm afraid that it is not my place to defend the honor of every farmer in Ceylon, nor is it my place to defend the honor of every bandit in Ceylon. I can only lead my men, not control them. The mayor pauses, stares at you, then continues speaking. You say very well. Then, when next your men come to rob my farmers, we will have no choice but to make... The mayor nods, then quickly stands up from the table. Thank you for your words, Sir Booth. We'll see each other soon. The mayor gives you a curt nod and leaves. You return to the farmers with an explanation of the mayor's position. The mayor's assistant approaches you. Sir Booth, I'll walk you out. You leave the meeting with the mayor's assistant. He gives you a short bow, then heads back towards the mayor's office. You return to the town hall foyer, where your guards await you. You give them a nod and make your way towards the exit. The mayor's assistant watches your group carefully as you leave. You make your way back to Ceylon, to address the farmers. Again, it is there that you understand the mayor's words. The farmers are starving and freezing. It has been a cruel winter, and not even the farmers of Ceylon have been spared its wrath. You survey the damage as you enter the town. Many of the buildings are damaged or destroyed, with few people in the streets. As you continue to walk through it, you see a collapsed house splayed across the road in front of you. You turn towards an approaching farmer.
Kind of want to start something else. I don't know about that one. Let's try scenario generator again. Oh, Sir Booth. Wait a second. This is not. Come on. Is this? This has got to be it. There we go. Come on. Okay. Cheeseburger. Bass guitar. Stocks. Stock market. Fireworks. Dogs. Cats. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise? Mayonnaise. Is that how you spell it? Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Exercise bikes. Exercise. It's like a workout fashion. Heavy metal. 1981. Flying V. I ordered pizza for dinner, but it arrived super early, so have at it, whatever.
It is the future, and the world has come under attack by an alien force known as the Beta. They are threatening to exterminate all intelligent life. The last bastion of humanity is a city protected by a large, levitating fortress known as Heaven's Pillar. It is here where our hero attends school in the pursuit of knowledge and training with ranged weaponry, all for the preservation of human existence.
Something else. That sounds better. You arrive.
You are a member of the band on _A_Vals, and you have to rehearse for your concert tonight. You have been given a new song to learn, and you have to practice it before the sound check. You arrive at sound check, set your instrument up, and begin practicing. You begin playing your new song, but it sounds awful, the wrong notes, the wrong rhythm. Your bandmates all look at you, confused, and ask you what happened. You begin to panic and start sweating profusely when you notice the crowd arriving. A man in a black suit comes forward and
Nautilus
tells you
Lyoko
that you need to
business.
go to Loco immediately. You go to the factory and are virtualized into Loco.
Nautilus Loco business.
How will you respond?
Guys, why does everything sound wrong? What are we going to do?
You say, guys, why does everything sound wrong? What are we going to do? You and your bandmates begin to argue loudly, causing you to miss most of the concert. Some people approach you and ask what is wrong, but you just shoo them away. The concert ends badly as a result.
This is interesting. It's an interesting story. I should set up the quest log here. Oh, in the edit. Let's turn on experimental features. There we go.
The newspapers call it the worst concert in history, all because of your mistake. You go home and
Is it on? Okay, yeah, it's on.
never asked to play in a band again. You become a hermit, as all of your former friends
Finally
now
dying
avoid you.
of starvation.
You
You're
spend
buried
the
in an
rest of
unmarked
your life
grave,
cleaning your home.
ending your
You
life
try to eat,
as a
but the
failure.
food tastes like sawdust. After
So this is
finally
kinda
dying of
fucked.
starvation, you are buried in an unmarked grave,
Let's not go
ending your
there.
life as a failure.
Oh man. How did you get here? Alright, let's see. Walk
While
down
on
the
the
road
You write
until
letter
a
of resignation to the
landmark
band and hand it
comes
to your closest
into
friend,
view.
David. He is furious with you and tears the letter in half as soon as he reads
Now
it.
this is a Twilight
You
Zone
spend the
episode.
rest of the night in silence, avoiding eye contact with your band. You walk down the road until a landmark comes into view.
Do I have any quests? I don't think so. Maybe I do. Let's see, quest log.
After a few hours you find a police officer and explain your situation. He drives you back home and says he'll pick up your stuff from the concert hall. You sit on your bed and begin reflecting on the past few days. After a few minutes, the doorbell rings. You open the door to find your mom's. After a few hours you find a police officer and explain your situation. He drives you back home and says he'll pick up your stuff from the concert hall. You sit on your bed and begin reflecting on the past few days. After a few minutes, the doorbell rings. You open the door to find your mom's friend, Linda, there to comfort you after this ordeal. You say hi, Linda. Thank you for coming on short notice. I just don't know who else I can turn to. Linda says, of course I came, sweetie. Your mom's out of town for work, so I agreed to come by and check up on you.
Okay. Let's get this checkup underway.
You say okay. Let's get this checkup underway. Linda runs through a short questionnaire, asking you about any pains you're feeling and general health. You feel fine, so she asks you to remove your shirt and lie down on the examination table. After looking at your skin, she says, nothing seems to be wrong with you. For medical reasons, I should also examine your, chest. Linda makes her way over to you and starts to feel your nipples. You become increasingly nervous as she feels them.
Gotta keep
You
it
say
safe for
okay.
work.
So,
Come on now.
is the old chest okay?
Come on now, Linda.
Linda?
Safe for work, please.
Linda says, absolutely. You've got nothing to worry about there.
Uh,
While Linda moves her hands to your belly, you notice that she is extremely attractive. Her shoulder-length dark hair and blue eyes almost make you forget that you're in a stressful situation. You feel yourself blush. Linda says, I'm going to put my hand down your pants now, sweetie. You
Leap.
nearly faint at her words.
all right.
Linda asks, is that okay?
All right, so we're going to jump up, run to the far end of the room, and throw ourselves through the first. Let's throw ourselves through the open second story window into a strawberry bush.
You jump up, run to the far end of the room, and throw yourselves through the open, second-story window, into a strawberry bush. You hit the ground rather painfully and find that you've broken your arm, but you manage to stagger to your feet. You look up to see Linda leaning out of the window. You wave at Linda as a police car drives up to the house. The officer gets out of his car, points at you, and says, aha, caught ya?
Yeah, you did. You got me, man. Nice work. This has to be a record, even for you.
You say yeah you did. You got me, man. Nice work. This has to... Linda yells, shut up and stop running. You're only going to make things worse for yourself, kid. You have no idea what she's talking about. You only ran because you saw the police car. They must have mistaken you for a dangerous criminal or something. The officer grabs you roughly, handcuffs you, and throws you in the car. You try to tell him that you're innocent, but he won't listen. You say, can we stop for donuts? The officer mumbles something and gets back in the car.
Hey, Refluence.
You're not
Thanks
sure
for
why
watching.
they brought you here instead of the police station, but you're happy that you get to stop for donuts. You sift through the box of donuts that the cop has given you. You take out a glazed and bite into it. As you do, the door opens and someone enters. You eat 6 donuts of different varieties, describing each as you eat them. The cop from the other night sits down across from you. You say, "Hey, I know you." He looks at you with a mixture of sadness and pity. He says seriously, "I know you, too. Your name is James." "Yeah. How are you?" You ask cheerfully. He sighs before answering, "I'm fine." With your mouth full of donut, you're unable to respond to this blatant lie.
You
say Name Emishes is Rebooth 1. He sighs. "No, you don't remember. I'd refer to you as Mr., but that wouldn't be right either." He pauses and corrects himself. "Well, it would be right, but only technically." He laughs at his private joke. "Anyways, what were we talking about?" He looks at you expectantly. You say you want a donut? He shakes his head. "No, I don't think that'll help my memory." You offer him a jelly-filled donut. He looks at it longingly before shaking his head again. "No thanks." You shrug and start eating the donut. You look around the room as you do so, curious about where you are. The walls are blank, not distinguishing itself from any normal interrogation room. You say so. Where were you the night of the murder? He raises an eyebrow at you before answering. "Don't you remember?" You shake your head. "I was here with you." You try to picture him in the interrogation room the first night, but can't quite bring it to memory. "No, that doesn't seem right," you say truthfully. He laughs nervously and says, "I'm sure you're mistaken." After a pause, he asks, "What else do you not remember?" You say, "Are you sure you don't want a sour cream?" He scrunches up his face. You laugh, and offer him the donut again. He looks at it with fear and loathing, and shakes his head. "No, I'm not eating that thing." The door opens and another man with a buzz cut enters. He is tall and skinny with a sour look on his face. You can tell he's military from his stance. He glares at you as he enters the room. You say, "Hey, Captain. You want a sour cream donut for that sour puss you got on?" He does not look amused, but instead looks more annoyed. "What am I here for, then?" he asks in a gruff voice. You shrug and say, "I dunno. What were you in for?" He glares at you and spits out, "Murder." You can tell he is not the type of man to mess with. You hold your hands up in surrender. "Whoa there, Captain. I'm just being friendly." You say so. Who would you like me to murder? What? You asked me who I would like you to murder. I was just asking if it was the same person. No, it's not the same person. You nod and say, "Ah, I see. There's a whole lineup for the gallows, huh? Well, if it's all the same to you, I'd prefer that we find out who killed me. Thanks anyway." You eat the remaining sour cream donuts. You don't want to, but you do it anyway. You feel sick to your stomach as you finish off the rest of the donuts. You need something to take your mind off this place. When you've finished the donuts, you stand up and say, "So, who are these criminals we're going to look at?" "Oh, just a few suspects," he says nervously. "That's a nice, tattoo," he says, trying to break the ice. "Thanks," you say, returning the favor and not knowing what to say. You both stand there in an awkward silence until one of the guards comes back and says, "This way, please." You follow him down a long hallway to a big room. There are several one-way mirrors overlooking an interrogation room.
All right.
"All right, you two, there are some chairs right over there. I'll let you know when the targets arrive." You sit down and look through the glass. In the room, there are two gray sofas facing each other with a small table in between them. The floor and ceiling are painted black. There is a single light shining on the sofas, leaving the rest of the room dark. You pull the cushions from one of the sofas, hide inside of it, and cover yourself with the cushions. As soon as you do so, the lights go out. You hear the door open and slam shut, then the shuffling of feet on the floor. "You've been a very bad girl," says a voice from the darkness. Your eyes widen as you freeze up inside the sofa. Your body is rigid as you try to decide whether or not to run or hide. You pop out of the sofa and exclaim, "Carter."
Ta-da!
You quickly jump out of the sofa and pull the cushions off of the man. You get a good look at him in the darkness. He's a middle-aged man with a goatee. "Nope, it's not him," you say. The man frowns as he says, "That's the third person who's pulled the cushion trick." "Who are you?" you ask. He smiles as he says, "Call me Anderson." You say, "I wish to sell you the pants I am wearing, Anderson." You pull your pants off and offer them to him. He smiles as he takes them. "Thanks a bunch," he says as he tries them on. "Wait, why am I taking my pants off?" you say. He smiles as he says, "You'll find out soon." In the distance, the guards burst through the door and drag you out of the room. You try to struggle and yell for help, but they easily overpower you. You go limp and pretend to be dead.
good plan.
You go limp and they drop you on the floor. It's so heavy, one guard says. Let's take it to the incinerator, another says. The guards pick you up and carry you down a hallway to a metal door. They open it with a set of keys and they walk you inside. Inside, there is a metal plate underneath a large, circular hole in the ceiling. You say I'm not going in the incinerator, but you are. You spit on one of the guards. The other guard smiles as he punches you in the face. You fall to the floor, dazed. It's no use fighting it. They pick you up and drop you into the incinerator, leaving you to burn alive as they close the door. You burst out of the incinerator and hip toss one of the guards into the incinerator. You push the other guard aside and turn to run. You make it out of the room, but an alarm begins to shriek throughout the facility. You try to open the door, but it seems to be locked. Damn, you say. You turn around to see one of the guards pointing a gun at you. He fires, hitting you in the chest and sending you to the floor. I guess I can go home. You giggle at your lack of pants. The guards lift you up and open the door. You see Agent Smith standing there, a cigarette in his mouth. "Hello," he says. "I am Agent David." You stare at him, trying to say something, but only gurgling noises come out. Your body goes limp. "He's dead," one of the guards says. "Good," Agent David says. "Let's get rid of him." You say, "Everyone, get in my mouth and I will swallow you whole, for digestion." "Doesn't that hurt?" one student asks. "We need to get this over with," another student says. You open your mouth and everyone falls inside. You close your mouth and begin to chew, swallowing the tiny, screaming students whole. After they're all eaten, you burp. You say you were delicious.
What's the summary here? Do we have
I've been told, Professor Nakamura says.
no
"Dad,
summary?
you're famous." The two of you continue to talk about monsters and other things as you leave the classroom. You cast the spell required to exit the time loop.
This is really
"I'm
gone to a
feeling more
place.
and more like a failure," you say. "You're not a failure," Heather says. "You're a hero. You saved the Earth from an alien invasion." "Did I really?" "Yes. The aliens were struck with such fear that they didn't dare to attack again." "That's good at least," you say. Heather looks at your eyes. There's a glint there you didn't expect, excitement. You retire with dignity. What's wrong? Heather asks. My eyesight is really bad now. I can barely see. Then let's retire, Heather suggests, kissing your forehead. You nod, and begin to shuffle towards the exit of the cave. You grab onto Heather's hand as she leads you out. You walk outside, where the wind and sun hit your face. It's a nice feeling. This is a nice planet.
It's a nice planet. This is a good one. It's a good planet.
The two of you board the ship, and begin the launch sequence. You drift off to sleep,
That's it.
waiting to reach your new home.
That's the game. Alright, guys. I'm going to call the stream here. I'll be back tonight with Sheridan for Friday Night Firefight. So thanks for hanging out. Oh, hey. Somebody's here. And the hey, Refluence, what's up? I was just about to end the stream. Just hopping off. It's good to see you. But yeah, I'm just gonna get going. But I'll be back later today. So see you around.
Okay.
Boop.